third. In the special vehicle class, Marsh and Whitehouse were leading Gary Bertholdt and Rousseau by 10 points, while there was a two-way tie for third between the Chenoweth and Jimco crews. The third round of the ABSA Off-Road Championship, the Toyota 1000 Desert Race, started in the capital of Botswana, Gaborone, and as usual the event attracted thousands of enthusiastic spectators. The two proudly South African Nissan hardbodies of Alfie Cox and Ralph Pitchford and Hannes Grobler and Francois Jordan led the field, followed by the I-Burst Advansoft bat of Gary Bertholdt and Siegfried Rousseau. Next came 2004 Toyota 1000 special vehicle winners Atang Mekheganeni and Bucks Carolyn in the total Jimco. Cox and Pitchford had the advantage of a dust-free track, which allowed them to open up a gap on their proudly South African Nissan teammates, but they adopted a cautious approach on this particular nasty section of the route. Grobler won the event for the first time in 1986 and had to wait 16 years for his second win, which he backed up with two more victories in 2003 and 2004. Grobler and Jordan were less cautious than their teammates. First Bertholdt and then Mekheganeni nipped by the stranded Nissan. Mark Cronje was happy to gain a place in the Castrol Toyota Hilux 2.7i. Bertholdt and Rousseau grabbed the lead when Cox picked up a puncture within a kilometre of where Grobler planted the Nissan in the ditch. Mekheganeni and Carolyn also took advantage of the situation and were now second, only seconds behind the leaders. Cox would have none of this and used every bit of his experience to close in on the special vehicles and open up more of a gap on Class D leaders Mark Cronje and Chris Birkin in the Castrol Toyota Hilux 2.7i, who were too close for comfort. Where Smith and Minute were having a good run in the Kopanong Hotel Super Team Jimco and had gained 2 places. Schroeder and Harris maintained a steady pace in the Team Ford Racing Ranger and were happy, for the first time being anyway, to be second in Class D and third overall in the production vehicle category. Chris Visser and Joppie Badenhorst were seconds behind in the Class E leading Tyco Trucks Toyota Hilux 2.7i, but were being hunted down by Arnold Duplessis and Johan Knox in the BB Auto Nissan hardbody. Richard Schilling and Chris Davies were still leading Class S in the Plastotech Aceco, with Hugo and Jaap de Bruyn second in Class E in the Castrol Toyota Hilux 2.7i, and Arnold Pastorius and Jürgen Stein the Class B leaders in the Twin City Raceco. Durbanites Zane Pierce and Henny Fussler were third in Class E in the Castrol Toyota Hilux 2.7i. Alfie Cox and Ralph Pitchford had built up a 7-minute lead over the leading special vehicle and had 14 minutes in hand over Cronje and Birkin. Bertholdt and Rousseau's lead over Mekheganeni and Carolyn had been reduced to a mere 45 seconds after almost 480 kilometres of racing. The reigning Toyota 1000 champions were content to keep up the pressure and nibble away at the bat pair's lead. At the end of day one, Cox and Pitchford had a comfortable lead in the production vehicle category over Mark Cronje and Birkin. Meanwhile, Hannes Grobler had rejoined the race and was lying 11th. In the special vehicle class, Gary Bertholdt and Rousseau were just half a minute ahead of Mekheganeni and Carolyn, setting the scene for a hard battle the following day. Cox and Pitchford led the field away at the restart on Sunday, with only 34 crews surviving the first day. Gary Bertholdt and Siegfried Rousseau in their Advansoft I-Burst bat were next, closely followed by Atang Mekheganeni and Bucks Carolyn in the total Jimco. Cox and Pitchford again had the benefit of a dust-free track and a 6-minute and 40-second cushion over the leading special vehicle and 13 minutes and 47 seconds over their closest production vehicle challenger. Mekheganeni and Carolyn nipped into the lead in the total Jimco when Bertholdt and Rousseau stopped to replace a flat wheel. The Advansoft I-Burst bat crew could ill afford the lost time and would have to fight to pass the reigning champions, who have proven difficult to overtake in the past. Mark Cronje and Chris Birkin were second overall in the Class D Castrol Toyota Hilux 2.7i. Shamir Variawa and VZ Van Zyl were in great form in the BMW V8 powered Total Porter and well-placed challenge for the special vehicle lead. Mastercraft Ryobi Pajero crew, Henry Zamatin and Bodo Schwegler, hadn't put a wheel wrong all weekend and looked set for a well-earned podium finish, and so too did Gavin Cronje and Robin Houghton in the Castrol Toyota Hilux 2.7i. Brothers Arnold, Yuri and Andre Duplessis held station in 4th and 5th position in Class D. The BB Auto Nissans hadn't missed a beat and remained a threat to the rest of the Class D contingent. Unfortunately, it was the end of the road for Gary Bertholdt and Siegfried Rousseau. The advance off bat had serious suspension damage.
I don't mind doing that, but I think that it's going like this and like this and like this. You better stop.
Brothers Yuri and Andre Duplessis in the BB Auto Nissan hardbody were lying 7th overall and 3rd in Class D. Father and son Nick and Ryan Harper started 52nd on Saturday and quietly worked their way through the field to 4th in the special vehicle category. Zane Pearce and Henny Vosloo led Class E in the Castrol Toyota Hilux 2.7i and were followed by surprise Class B leaders Don Thompson and Wally Pooler in the Sandmaster. Hannes Frobler and Francois Jordan in the proudly South African Nissan hardbody had been making steady progress up the field. Alfie Cox and Ralph Pitchford had victory in their sights, and with the 16-minute cushion in hand over Cronje and Birkin, could afford to ease their pace in the proudly South African Nissan hardbody. Much to the delight of the fans, Mekhekeneni and Carolyn had taken the lead in the special vehicle category. Despite its battered appearance, the Castrol Toyota Hilux 2.7i of Gavin Cronje and Robin Houghton performed faultlessly up until now. Zamatin and Schwegler trailed Mark Cronje and Chris Birkin by 14 seconds, but had the rest of the Class D field bearing down on them. Paolo Piazzamusso and Oki Fari were 6th on the road in the Castrol Toyota Hilux 2.7i. Shamir Variawa and VZ Van Zyl put up an impeccable performance in the Total Porter and were over 40 minutes ahead of 3rd place Nick and Ryan Harper in the Audi V8 powered bat. The Harpers' cautious approach earned them another position, and they were now 3rd in the special vehicle category. Marcus Taylor and Mark de Chalane nursed an ailing gearbox on the JRE to move up to 4th place overall and 1st in Class B, while in Class E, Barkhazen and Hearing, albeit 1st on the road, actually trailed leaders Pearce and Vosloo by 12 minutes. Zane Pearce and Henny Vosloo's Castrol Toyota Hilux 2.7i was unscathed and, barring a good clean, was ready for another 1,000 kilometres. Class S leaders Richard Schilling and Chris Davies had a troubled day in the Plastotech Ace Curve, but persevered to the finish. John Thompson and Clinton McNamara in the Mormon Zarko were 3rd in Class B on corrected time and being chased by eventual Class B runners-up Don Thompson and Wally Pooler in the Sandmaster. The unlucky pair could have fared much better had they not been involved in an early morning accident. A maiden overall win for Alfie Cox and Ralph Pitchford, and Nissan's fourth successive Toyota 1000 victory.
We pushed it as hard as we could, and I'm just over the moon. Ralph's done a fantastic job. I mean, navigator that I could really ask for. Honestly, never put a foot wrong for the 2 days, and that's what you need. You need a team to make this whole thing come around, and especially the mechanics. They worked hell of a hard, and the hard body's been unbelievable. I mean, we trashed this thing. You can see it. There's just pieces left of it, and we just won some more.
A second successive Toyota 1000 victory for Atak Mehehaneni and Bucks Carolyn. So Cox and Pitchford make it 2 out of 3 for Nissan in the production vehicle category, while Grobler and Jordan made a remarkable comeback to finish 4th. In the special vehicle category, Mehehaneni and Carolyn beat their closest competitors by almost half an hour.